Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because I'm going to be doing a first impressions review of Selena Gomez's new beauty line, Rare Beauty, and I am really excited to try out these products. I have been following the launch pretty closely ever since Selena had posted it on her Instagram. I wouldn't say that I'm like a huge Selena Gomez fan, like I'm definitely not a super fan where I love everything that she does, but I do follow her on Instagram, and so when she announced that she was starting a beauty brand, I was very intrigued. So Rare Beauty is, I believe, exclusively through Sephora, so you can't buy it anywhere else other than online at Sephora or going into the Sephora store. And I did not get sent any of these products to try out. I went to Sephora on the launch day. I was very excited and I went and I bought about $170 worth of product to try out for you guys here on my channel. And personally, I just was very interested in this line. Anytime a celebrity launches like a beauty brand or a lifestyle brand, I'm always intrigued by it, and I really wanted to do a first impressions video for you guys, an honest review, spending my own money on the products and giving you guys my honest and real thoughts about how I like them and how they stand up to other brands that I am a little bit more familiar with. I wish that I was on their PR list because you guys may have been following the launch, but they sent out this incredible box with like all of the products and most of the shades in each line, and these boxes looked amazing. They sent them to a bunch of celebrities, of course a ton of big beauty YouTubers, and of course like I didn't get one, but I wish I had because it looked amazing. So that piqued my interest. I wasn't sure how this line was going to perform on the launch day. I wasn't sure if things were going to sell out, so I didn't order anything online at the launch. I think it launched at like midnight, but I waited to just go into the Sephora store the next day because I wanted to get shade matched, and I just kind of wanted the experience of like going in and seeing the Sephora display. So I'll pop a little photo or video right here of the display at Sephora so you know kind of what it looks like, the presentation. But like I said, I spent like $170 on this stuff, so I really hope that I like it because, you know, that's like a chunk of change to drop on a beauty line that you have no idea about. So I haven't watched any of the reviews. I wanted this to be my honest first impressions. I didn't want to know anything about really any of the products. The only one that I've tried out is the lip balm, and I can already tell you that I love it. So I kind of cheated and I tried that out in the car on my way back from Sephora. So that I've tried out, but everything else I have not swatched, I have not tried on my skin, and I'm super excited to get into this. So for those of y'all who are not familiar with Rare Beauty, Selena Gomez basically wanted to create a brand around the idea that you are rare. It kind of ties into her album that she released, and I really like the concept of it. I'm all about, you know, celebrating individuality and just highlighting the things that make you unique. So I think she's very like in line with those values. So we're just gonna start with everything that I got, and I'm just gonna run through this really quickly and then we'll actually try it all on. So the first thing that I was really excited about is the foundation. So this is the Liquid Touch foundation. I got the shade 170W. Someone at the Sephora store actually helped shade match me because I'm just not that good at that. So this is what the foundation looks like. This is the packaging. I really like the branding that she did with this line. It has this little like bulb at the top that I think is just really pretty. All of her promo photos and promo videos with like these silhouettes I loved. So very trendy brand, and I just think they're really pretty. This is like a kind of pale blush color. Next I got the matching foundation. So this is in the same shade, and this one has a similar concept for design. It has the little bulb at the top, except it is a little thinner wand. So foundation, concealer. Even though the concealer looks a little bit lighter than the foundation, it says it's the same shade, but it literally looks lighter. Doesn't that look lighter? Okay, we'll get into that. Next, I got the Blot and Glow Kit Retouches. This is the translucent powder. This one is a compact, and I opened this one up briefly in my car just to show everyone on my Instagram stories. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can follow me at @bychloewen. And this is what the compact looks like. And then you open it up, you have your mirror, and then you have the blotting sheets and the puff right here. So I was a little bit confused when I opened this up because this puff right here, I was like, oh, there's gotta be powder underneath it. There's no powder underneath it. The puff itself, I believe, has the powder in it. So it's a loaded puff. So when you do go to replace this and get a refill, you refill the entire puff, not just the powder. So that's something that I'm a little bit confused about. Honestly, to me, first impressions, this compact feels a little cheap. I believe, let me see what the price point was on this one. So for this compact, it's $26. You're getting like blotting sheets, but you can get those for $2 at Target, and then you're getting a loaded puff. So this puff apparently has the powder in it. I guess it does. I'm honestly like very confused by this little puff here, but for $26 you're really just getting a tiny bit of powder because it's just a loaded puff, and then you're getting 100 blotting sheets, which I just don't feel like is really worth $26, other than it's just a really like cute compact, but I just don't really see myself taking this with me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you open up the blotting sheets and they look like this, and I think you just rip this off. I'm just gonna rip it off. So basically you have your blotting sheets and your puff, and again, I just don't really feel like this is worth $26 first impressions. I mean, But the foundation and the concealer, I really like the packaging on. This one I think was just kind of gimmicky to me, and I honestly don't see how this is loaded with powder. It probably is, but I'm just like I'm not seeing it, honestly. And underneath the powder, it looks like there's like a logo plastic that's literally just taped down here. So this part looks a little bit like cheap to me. Like it looks like they just literally placed plastic in the bottom of this to have the Rare Beauty logo. I just think they could have just avoided this altogether, or made a separate compact with a powder and a puff, and then just had translucent sheets separate. But I bought this anyway because I thought the compact itself was really cute. I feel like if you have a translucent powder that you love, you can refill this, like just tap it into your translucent powder and reload it versus buying another puff. But that is just my thoughts on this part. Let's move on to something else. So the next thing that I got is the liquid blush. I am really excited to try this out. I am a huge fan of Glossier's Cloud Paint liquid blush, and so I have very high hopes and I have high expectations for this liquid blush. This one is so gorgeous. I love this shade. This is the shade Bliss, and I just feel like this one is gonna be super pretty. So this liquid blush, I feel like they really did a good job on the packaging for these. That compact though, for me as of now, is a miss. The next thing that I got is the highlight. This is the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer in the shade Mesmerize. This is the shade that the Sephora girl recommended to me, and I've got to be totally honest, it looks very pink, so I really hope that she recommended me the right thing. She said when it swatches though that it's not as pink as it looks in the bottle, but this is the shade that I got, and it should be really pretty. I can actually go ahead and swatch this for you guys so you can get an idea. So this is what it looks like coming out, and then rubbing it in. Oh, it's really not that pink. Once you like really rub it in, it's really not that pink. Really pretty actually once you rub it in. So I really like that. And again, it's that same kind of bulb as the foundation. The next thing that I got is the Lip Souffle Matte Cream in the shade Courage. This is her matte liquid mousse, basically liquid lipstick, but it's a mattifying one, and this is the shade that I got. Really pretty. Because I was in Sephora, I wasn't able to swatch anything because obviously, you know, but this is what the shade looks like, and I'm feeling really good about this shade. I'm also feeling really good about this formula. The next thing that I got is the Dewy Lip Balm. This is the thing that I tried on in the car because I need a lip balm and it was just calling my name. This is the packaging on the lip balm. I really like the shape of this. I think it's very unique. And then this is what the shade looks like. And this one is a very dewy, balmy formula. So it's a little bit more sheer than the lip mousse, but the color payout is still amazing. So this is the lip mousse right here. This is the balm. this one's really, really hydrating. So these are all the products that I got, these ones, and then the compact, and obviously I zoomed you guys in so you can see how it all looks. We are gonna start with the foundation. So all I have on my skin right now is the Glossier Super Glow, my lightweight moisturizer, and then I have a Urban Decay primer on. I didn't end up getting the primer or the setting spray from Rare Beauty because I didn't want to spend, you know, $300. So this is what we've got, and I'm really looking forward to trying this stuff out. The girl at Sephora said that this foundation is a little bit lighter weight than you would expect, and because I haven't watched any reviews or tutorials, I really have no idea what it's gonna be like. So this is the shade that I got, and like I said, she shade matched me, and hopefully it looks good. I like the doe foot applicator. So it definitely looks like it's gonna work. The only thing about it is that there's no red undertones, but I kind of like that because I'm naturally pretty red underneath my skin, and so having this kind of neutralizes everything. This feels really light on the skin. To me, this formula feels one step above a skin tint. So if a skin tint is typically just barely enough coverage, this is the next step up. I wouldn't even call this medium coverage, I would call this light coverage, and it feels so good on the skin. It is actually, does she call this weightless? Because this actually does feel very weightless to me. This is Liquid Touch. I really like this. First impression, for somebody who likes to have the option of wearing, you know, super heavy full face makeup and wearing a really natural kind of everyday makeup look, this is actually really nice. I love the way that this is blending out with the brush. She has a foundation brush. I didn't buy it because again, I didn't want to spend $300, but so far really liking it. It looks like the girl at Sephora might have chosen maybe one shade too light, so I'm definitely gonna need to bronze, but this is actually perfect because in the winter, I can see this actually being the perfect shade for me, and for the fall and winter, I feel like I'm really only tan like 2 months out of the entire year. So first impressions of this foundation, I actually really like it. It's not a dewy foundation, which you would kind of expect because it's like a kind of skin tint watery base foundation, but it's also not like drying, if that makes sense. It is truly weightless, truly lightweight, so comfortable on the skin to wear. I'm really liking this. I think it blended out really well with just a foundation brush. I probably honestly didn't even need as much as I put on. A little bit of this goes a very long way because it's lightweight. I feel really happy with this foundation. This foundation, I think if I remember correctly, is $29. Okay, so this foundation is $29, and honestly, I feel like this is a great price point for this foundation. This bottle should last you a good while because like I said, you barely use any. It blends out seamlessly, and it just feels like I have nothing on my face, but it evened out everything. It's funny because when I see all those like beauty photos, obviously they're like retouched, so you're kind of wondering like, what does that foundation actually look like on skin? And it like is kind of matte, but it's really pretty. Like, it's very natural. I feel like a lot of times those like mattifying foundations make you look like you have this like actual layer of foundation on your face, but this really works into the skin very nicely. So I'm a big fan of the foundation. The foundation is a yes for me. Now we're gonna do concealer, and for some reason this concealer looks lighter than this one. I looked on the bottom though, they are the same shade, so we're gonna see how this goes. So this is the concealer. Again, little doe foot. This is a pretty thick doe foot applicator though for how small this bottle is, so that's just something that's really interesting to me. And I don't really conceal under my eyes all that much. I like to use my concealer for my dark spots, so things on my cheek like acne scarring is where I like to use my concealer. And we're just gonna see how this kind of blends out and into the skin. Most of my dark spots on my face from acne are on my cheeks, so that's where I like to focus the product. Concealer concealed pretty well. I feel like, let's see this side. I feel like it is just a little bit lighter than the other shade, but it's not like that noticeable. So concealer, I would say, is not a real like full coverage concealer. It is a nice concealer. However, you can still see a little bit of my acne scarring. So I don't know. I feel like the concealer is not my favorite, I don't think. The concealer feels like medium coverage, so it actually might work really well underneath the eyes because it does blend out. It does feel very lightweight, still feels very comfortable on the skin, but the only thing is that it's not completely covering. So if you're looking for a super full coverage concealer, I would suggest the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. That stuff like masks everything. So my thoughts as of now after using concealer and foundation is that Rare Beauty is definitely a brand for people who want to just enhance their features. These are not products that are going to completely cover or conceal, but I think that does fall in line with how she branded the beauty line altogether. Rare Beauty is supposed to be about who you are and how you look, and these products are supposed to just enhance what you already have. So I should not have unfair expectations that these are going to be full coverage, full face, super correcting products. These are going to be like your boosting products that like make you feel confident and beautiful without taking away a lot of your features. Let's try out this blotting paper slash puff. Mostly the puff. We're not gonna really try the paper because I'm not really oily as of now. I still think this foundation's a little bit light. It might not be. It looks a little bit light, but I'm gonna put some bronzer on. So we're gonna try out this puff though. This is a pass for me as of now. And I'm honestly not sure. I mean, it says it's loaded with product, so I could see this being nice if I wanted to reload it with like a Laura Mercier translucent powder and just keep reusing it versus buying new puffs all the time, because I don't see how you can really get that many uses out of this. This just feels like something you could get at Target though. Does not feel that quality. I think the concept is so cute though, but I'm just not a huge fan. Powder, I'm not really wowed by. I don't really have a lot to say about it other than I wouldn't buy it. So that's my thoughts, but I do like the blotting sheets. I like that there's like 100 little blotting sheets. I haven't used them yet. I hope they just work as blotting sheets, but pass on the compact unless you just really want to get it. Let's just bronze because I cannot look at my face right now with how pale it is. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer. I really wish that this Rare Beauty line had a bronzer. I don't know what's up with these makeup brands not releasing bronzers. I feel like a lot of these like more natural beauty brands, like not natural in the ingredients but naturally looking beauty brands, have been not releasing bronzers, and it confuses me because we need bronzers, you know what I mean? So this is the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I love this bronzer, and I'm just gonna warm up the face just a tad, kind of see how products layer over this foundation. And this is like my favorite bronzer, so if this bronzer does not go on well over this foundation, then we are in trouble. Honestly, just adding a little bit of bronzer has helped a lot with this foundation shade. Okay, bronzer goes on very nicely over this foundation. I actually really like that. That looks very natural, very nice. I really like the way that that layered over it. It's still, even though I have a full face of foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer on, it feels very lightweight. Like it really feels like I have nothing on my skin. I don't feel cakey at all, and I feel like that's pretty huge. Now we're gonna do the blush. So this is the product that I'm the most excited about. Like I said, this is the liquid blush here, and it has the large doe foot applicator. I feel like this is gonna be way too much product. Liquid blushes, you kind of have to be careful with how much product you're applying, and I guess we're just gonna go for it. I hope this blends out well. So I'm just gonna tap on 2 little dots, and I'm just gonna tap it out with my finger, and then we'll build from there. It's very interesting that this is a matte blush because it kind of turns to powder as you work it in. Ooh, wait. I actually really like this blush. I mean, so patting it, honestly, I would suggest rubbing it in because it's like, it turns like powder. That is really pretty. So after I do my blush and my bronzer, I always go back in with whatever translucent powder I'm using, and I just kind of pat it all together so that it blends seamlessly. So that's what I'm gonna do with this little puff, just to kind of soften up any edges and to just blend it into the bronzer. Put a little bit of this blush on my nose too, just give me some life. So blush, I really love this. This may be one of my new go-tos. This is probably something that I will repurchase. Honestly, I love that it's matte. I love the way that it worked with the foundation and the concealer. It honestly feels like they made this line work together really well because the foundation has a little bit of like a creamy matte to it. The blush does too. So as you work the blush into the bronzer, they all kind of like seamlessly meld together. And I really, really like the finish of this. This blush is gorgeous and it goes on just so nice. I really, really like it. Okay, I would highly recommend the blush as of now. This is so, so pretty. Now we are going to do the highlight. This is, like I said, the highlight in the shade Mesmerize. You guys saw on the back of my hand, it's not as pink as you think it's gonna be. She also applies it on her collarbone, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not going anywhere that I would need to, you know, be glowing like that. Doe foot applicator. All of these products have this little doe foot applicator, and I'm just gonna apply this a little bit on my nose. Well, that was hopefully not too much product. That was a lot of product. So whatever I just put on my nose, I'm gonna spread over to my cheeks as well. Now the girl at Sephora said that she would suggest even mixing some of this highlight into the blush. I feel like I might try that at some point. Okay, so this highlight has the same silky texture as the blush, as the foundation. I'm actually really, really happy with the way that all of these products are like melting together as you work them onto the skin. You don't need any sort of brush for this highlight. It is just, yeah, you just use your finger and it melts into your skin. And a little bit on my lip. So looking at this highlight, it's definitely pink toned, but it's not unwearable. I actually really like the way that it works with the foundation and everything. This is actually a really pretty natural look, even though you're using, you know, all of the products. It still feels so lightweight on the skin. Like it feels like I have nothing on my skin, and it honestly like is shocking me because it's mattifying, but it's not drying at all. So very, very comfortable wear. I'm really happy with how comfortable this is. I'm gonna put a little bit of color on my eyes just because she didn't release any sort of eyeshadows, which again, I'm kind of like, why would you release certain products but not eyeshadows? I don't know, but I'm gonna use my Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is a Tarte palette, and I'm just gonna apply just enough to kind of like round out the look. I just don't want to do a full face without anything on my eyes. This is my favorite palette. So versatile, just something kind of quick. The mascara that I love and have been using nonstop is the Elizabeth Arden mascara. Just really like how one coat of this just looks so natural, but it looks really, really good. Now that I have something on my eyes, I'm gonna finish off the look with one of her lip products. So like I said, I got two of the lip products. I got the balm one, and then I got the liquid lipstick. I really want to use this balm because I feel like this is a product that you guys are gonna want to grab. This is probably my favorite product from the entire line because I have tried it and I do love it so much. So this is, like I said, the balm. It's super hydrating. It comes in a bunch of different shades that are all very approachable shades. This one is the shade Support, and you just like swipe this on and you get amazing color payout even though it's a balm. So this is the final Rare Beauty look, and I really like the way that these products work together. I want to give you guys a final rundown on all the products and what I would highly suggest and what I would say pass on. This foundation I really, really liked. It's very lightweight. I think you guys are gonna really like this foundation if you like more natural makeup looks. You really don't feel it on your skin. It just has this amazing mattifying property, but it doesn't dry you out. So I would highly recommend the foundation. The concealer I wasn't totally wowed by. I wish it was the exact same shade as the foundation. I wanted to get the one that was the same shade. That's why I got it. And it was a little bit lighter, so I don't know if it was just me, if it was just this batch of this shade, but I really wish it was the same shade. And because I don't have a ton to conceal, I really just wanted a more full coverage concealer for the spots that I really wanted to conceal, like the dark spots. I will say though, it works pretty well with the foundation, so if you want two products that work together, the concealer blends in really well with the foundation. I would say pass on this compact. Definitely just, I don't know, I wouldn't really mess with it. The blush, 100% yes to this blush. I am obsessed with this blush. I want to get it in some more shades. It works amazing with the foundation, so I would highly recommend this blush. The highlight, I don't know. I don't know if it's the shade that I got, but I'm honestly not wowed by this. I think it's the shade. I want to go back to the store and maybe get something with more of a goldeny warm undertone. I didn't see a lot of highlight options, at least in the Sephora store, when I looked at the shades that I was like, oh, I know that's gonna look good on my skin. A lot of them were like rosy undertones or like rose gold, and I'm not a big fan of the rose gold highlights, so I need to look at the shade range again, but I'm not like overwhelmed by this highlight. I will say though, it does blend in again really well with the foundation. I feel like this whole product line kind of works well together. This lip product, this lip balm, 100% I recommend it. It is so pigmented for being lip balm. It's honestly, I don't know, the first time I swiped it I was like shocked, because typically with the lip balm you're not getting a ton of color payout. This, you get the color payout and you get a hydrating lip balm, so that is a must for me. That one's kind of a no-brainer. This lip mousse, I felt it on my skin, I swatched it. I actually really like the way that it feels. It is kind of like a moussey formula, so it's not gonna be super drying like a liquid lipstick. I swatched it on the back of my hand earlier, but as you start to like work it into the skin, it almost turns kind of powdery. So you're not getting like a super bold lip like you would think with this. It actually can be blended out to be more of a kind of sheer tint. So this one definitely has different like workability options with that. Overall, as a whole though, I really like the way that everything looks. Everything feels amazing on the skin. So if you are the type of person who wants a makeup brand that still shows your features, is not full coverage, that really enhances what you have, but is like a step above the more natural looking brands, I would say this line gives you more options to do more kind of glam full face looks. So those are my thoughts on this brand. I am really excited to kind of play with these products with some of the other brands that I use and see how they mix with those. Together they all work pretty well, but I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below letting me know if you have tried Rare Beauty or you're excited about Rare Beauty or what products you're thinking about getting. If you are new to my channel and you found this review helpful, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, but I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Bye guys!